Yo, one of my biggest fears coming up as a young creative, entrepreneur, artist, just person was missing out on my God-given potential. And I think potential is directly associated to productivity and execution and getting things done. So on this video, I'm going to give you my ultimate productivity hack for all my fellow creatives. Stay tuned.
Indie Jones, back with a trendy flow. I'm still trying to find my voice in this hip scenario. Here we go.
Yo, what's going on? My name is Ruslan. I'm a hip-hop artist, creative entrepreneur. This channel exists to encourage, empower, inspire people to live out the king's dream in their life. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Some of you guys are familiar with me and some of you are not, and that's okay. Listen, I've been a full-time artist for over 3 years. Music is my main source of income. My wife stays at home with our amazing 3-year-old son. I live in Southern California, which isn't cheap. In the last 24 months, I've released 3 solo albums that have all charted top 10 on iTunes. I actually got another solo album coming out before the end of the year. Yes, Indie Jones 3 is on the way, and I'm about to announce my project with my man Paul Russell that'll actually be out in a few weeks. I've uploaded over 200 YouTube videos. I've done over 50 shows all over the country, even up to Canada. And I'm an artist that's never claimed to be the best lyricist, to be the most lyrical miracle. I've never claimed to be the dopest rapper or anything like that, but I am one of the most prolific artists that you will come across. And people ask me, man, how are you able to release so much content? How are you able to release so many videos? How are you able to do it? And I've tried different things, man, through the last couple years, trial and error. Obviously, I'm in a different position because I'm full-time, so it gives me a little bit of flexibility, but being able to juggle all these things has taken a lot of effort. And I've done it sometimes at the expense of my body and my health and not getting enough sleep and running myself into the ground. I've done it at the expense of not spending as much time as I should with my family. But recently, through some experimenting and some trial and error, I feel like I've found that sweet spot, that pocket to be the most productive I've ever been in the last few months. And it's by trying some different things, getting some new information. So I'm super duper excited to share with you guys what I've been doing in terms of creating more content, being more productive than ever before. I think oftentimes the problem with very hyper creative people, and again, I've never claimed to be the most creative, but I do identify as a creative, I do identify as an artist, but oftentimes with most creative people, a lot of creative people, the tension lies in being super creative and executing and releasing and being productive, right? Now that's a whole, I think, psychological shift in terms of finishing, done, and released is better than perfect. So I think there's a little bit of perfectionism, that the mental switch that has to go off for someone to kind of make that shift. But I think once you've made the decision that I'm not going to try to be super artsy-fartsy and be perfect with every single thing that I create, that I actually want to release content and share content, music, videos, whatever your thing is, I think the tough thing is finding that balance in your creativity. So most of you guys are probably still working jobs, maybe you're a student, and you're trying to find that balance of, okay, I want to release stuff, I want to share music, I want to put more stuff out, I just can't find that flow state. I can't find that pocket for myself. And so because I'm full-time, again, I have some luxury and it's been fantastic to be able to do music full-time for the past 3 years. So my routine would go something like this. I'd get up, I'd go to the gym, I'd lift weights, I'd do cardio, whatever it is that I was doing for that day. And then after that, I would come home, I would shower, and I'd go into the studio. And I found that after the gym and showering, that I would kind of be in a slump creatively. Like I'd leave the gym or leave the creative activity super duper inspired. Usually me and my family, we go to the gym together. I'd leave super duper inspired. But by the time I was actually in the studio, I just wasn't feeling it. Nothing was clicking. It was like the energy got sucked out of me and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. And so I did something that some of you guys may find kind of gross, but that's okay. I'm just gonna be honest and vulnerable with you. I actually started going straight from the gym. I'd come home, maybe I'd eat lunch, maybe I wouldn't, and I'd go right to create it. Usually hop on, finish an edit on a video, get a video uploaded. Maybe I'll go in the studio, start mixing, making a beat. Whatever it is that I was doing, I just, you know what, I just throw myself right into it and I wouldn't even change. I would literally have my gym clothes on. John Keith is clowning me on one of our new songs, Breeze, with me and Paul Russell, and the intro talks about me always wearing sweatpants.
We're not even getting started on you. You got a kid and a wife and you're wearing sweatpants and it's not okay.
The reason why a lot of times I'm wearing sweatpants is because I'm literally coming from the gym or about to go to the gym, and I just don't want to think about changing and showering and all those different things that actually slow down the momentum of my day. And so even today, I got home from the gym, I started creating, doing some stuff, some email stuff, not really creative stuff, but just kind of like knocking a couple things out, small things out. Took yesterday's Mistake Monday video, put it on Facebook, little things like that. Before I knew it, I was like, man, I'm in a slump. What's going on? Went around some errands. Maybe if I move around, I feel better. Still in a slump. So I was like, man, I'm about to make this video for them. Let me actually apply this for myself. I had to make the decision to do it. So what I actually did is I went outside. I did about 10 minutes of exercise. I threw on the brand new Derek Minor and Cannon joint. This time it ain't a game, yeah. That joint was hard. I threw it on, literally, it played like 4 or 5 times all the way through. And I just started doing a very simple Tabata routine. If you haven't heard of Tabata, you should Google it. It's really cool. It's basically high intensity training. You do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 4 minutes. Then you take a 1-minute break, and then you do it again. So I started doing 20 seconds of jump rope, rest for 10 seconds, hop down, do 20 seconds of push-ups, rest for 10 seconds, 20 seconds of jump rope, so on and so forth. I did about 10 minutes worth because I remember the song going through about 4 times. And I was like, man, I actually feel great. Like my blood was flowing. And I said this before on this channel, motion creates emotion. And I couldn't really put it all together. I didn't understand why skipping a shower, which I know that sounds gross, right? But skipping the shower immediately after the gym and just going right into creating, why I was feeling so much more creative, why I was feeling so much more productive. And I discovered on this Joe Rogan podcast, I'll link it up so you can check it out, they were talking about the creative flow state. And if you don't know what the creative flow state, you should definitely check out Joe Rogan's podcast. But I pieced it all together, and basically the creative flow state is that state, you guys know, those of you guys that create, it's that tension between something being too easy and something being too hard, right? So if something is too hard, you're gonna feel some anxiety. You're not gonna be able to do it, right? And if it's too easy, it's not gonna be stimulating enough for you. And that flow state is just that line right down the middle between too hard and too easy. And that to me starts happening in the gym. When I'm working out, I've watched enough Athlete Next videos, I've studied working out, I've been working out for a very long time. I get into this flow state and basically like time just kind of stops. And I'm not worrying about the future. I'm not worrying about what happened yesterday. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just going. A lot of times this happens to me when I'm doing yard work. I know this sounds crazy, right? This is talking about creativity and all this kind of stuff. And they talk about it in a podcast, but there's something about shutting off a part of your brain to not overanalyze and just going, just creating, moving, doing something where you're not overly stimulated. It's not too hard, but it's also not too easy. And exercise, for me, has been the catalytic thing to get me to be more productive. Today, again, I just wasn't feeling it. I know what was going on. I was like, man, what's going on? Boom. Did my little Tabata routine, just 10 minutes, literally just 10 minutes. Now, depending on where you are with your health, you may not want to do HIIT training. Like if you're pretty overweight, just go on a walk. Go on a walk, man. Just move around. Do some jumping jacks. When I'm at home, I also use this clock. I got a clock. Every 25 minutes, my clock dings, and I get a 5-minute break. During that 5-minute break, I literally get up. I start doing jumping jacks. I move around. I do some push-ups. I don't like to compartmentalize my life. Many of us live our lives and we have boxes, and we're like, oh, here, this is my fitness box, and this is my nutrition box, and then here, oh man, this is my music thing, and then I got my job, and I got my relate. I don't like living like that. I believe in being one whole person, and so fitness to me is a lifestyle, so that directly ties into when I'm in the studio. When I'm in the studio, I get up, I move around, I get the blood flowing, I have 5-minute breaks every 25 minutes, and you'd be surprised how much better I feel, how much more I'm able to get done. You guys have been noticing probably if you're on this channel, if your notifications are on, which they should be on because I get in there, I converse with you guys right when the videos drop, but I've been uploading a lot of videos. I've also been dropping a lot of music. I'm about to drop a full-length record within the next couple weeks here with my man Paul Russell. It's a holistic approach to the way I live my life. The more active I am with my body, the more creative I feel in my mind. And the more creative I feel in my mind, the more I tend to hear from God and tend to follow up on those spiritual disciplines that I want to have. So in the comments section, I want to have this conversation with you guys, man. Have you experienced this flow state? Have you tapped into that place where you're creating, and I don't know what your thing is, but maybe it's in the gym, maybe it's making a beat, maybe it's writing a song, recording yourself, where you're just not thinking. Your mind is calm. It's not too hard. It's not too easy. And it's just coming out of you. It's just flowing out of you. Have you experienced that? Do you currently feel productive? Are you kind of in that learning? I want to get a gauge of where everybody's at. Are you in that learning stage where you're just now starting to learn the craft that you're passionate about? Maybe it's editing videos. Maybe it's making beats, mixing, whatever it is. Where are you at? Do you feel productive yet? Or do you feel like you're in a slump? Because I think the worst thing any of us can experience in life is to go down the corridor of life and then look back and be like, dang, man, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, I had this opportunity, I had this potential to do something dope with music, to do something dope with YouTube, to do something to help people, and I just couldn't muster up the effort. I couldn't get into the flow state. So check out that Joe Rogan podcast, man. Let me know what you guys think about it. And this week, I want everybody who's watching this video this week, again, I don't know what you guys are doing, what your craft is, what you're working on, but I want you to try. I want you to try to be active, to do a little bit of exercise, just a little bit, 5-10 minutes. Get up, do some jumping jacks, get a jump rope, do some push-ups, do something. Get that blood flowing. Maybe go on a walk before you go into normally create. Maybe you create after you get off work and it's nighttime and you feel kind of tired and you're like, oh man, I gotta eat dinner. Man, boom. Eat your dinner, do a little bit of creative stuff, get some calories, get that heart rate going, and then go right into whatever it is you do creatively. Right away, go right into it and see how you feel. See if you feel different. Let me know how that goes in the comment section below. Oh, by the way, at the end of the day, I've been taking my showers, or sometimes early in the morning before I even go to the gym. Usually it's at night. Usually get in around 9 after I've had dinner, I've done whatever it is I need to do. Take my shower. So yes, I still take showers, guys. I know we're gonna get some of those comments like, what do you mean you don't take showers? But thank you so much for checking out this video. Give it a like. I know you know somebody that needs this video. So hit that share button, text it to somebody, tweet it out, Facebook, whatever you wanna do. And if you wanna partner with us on this channel, man, consider joining that Patreon. That's basically the way we're using to fund the podcast that we got going and much more content coming your way. Thank you so much. Peace.
It's a breeze, boy, I told you it's a breeze. Yo, it's a breeze, boy, I told you.